Steve Covino, Rich Davis. Herc is here, and the star of the LA Galaxy,
Oh, gosh.
Javier Hernandez. You guys know him as Chicharito is in the house.
Thank you.
Chicharito.
Wow, good accent, eh?
What do you want to be called? Chicharito, Javi, Chicha,
Chicha,
Chicharito?
Chicha?
No.
Little P?
Javier is fine, or Chicharito, I don't mind. I mean, like he said, always I've been growing with a lot of nicknames, so.
Well, welcome to Los Angeles.
Thank you.
I was going to say, they rolled out the red carpet for Chicharito, huh?
And thank you for making time, because we know how busy you are.
Thank you very much.
We know how busy you are posting on social media. To your 5.3 million followers, this is a big deal. That leads us to something we call Did It for the Gram.
Yeah, now, you dropped out the ceremonial first puck at an LA Kings game. Tell us about this experience.
It was cool. I was telling you that it was my first hockey game. It was, yeah, I mean, I've been learning. I've never been like a hockey fan, actually, and I never followed that sport, but it was so cool that they invited me to drop the puck. Then we watch all the
So
game.
wait a minute. So hockey's not big in Mexico growing up?
No. There's not a lot of ice.
A lot of those guys are soccer fans.
Yeah, no,
right.
They told me, and even in the warm-up, they play a little bit like a soccer.
Yeah, they juggle.
thing, like a warm-up. So yeah, it's cool.
You know what, Rich? Why don't you make fun of him? Because he makes fun of me all the time, because I've never been on ice skates either.
Well, let me ask you. I
Recently.
mean, you could score better than anyone, but what if I threw ice skates on you?
I retire, man. I finished. No.
Okay, so hockey's not your game. Soccer obviously is. Were you good at any other sports
Well,
growing up?
I don't know if soccer it is. A lot of people disagree with that.
For the Mexican national team.
I
Humble
know,
right now.
I know, but do you have skills in other sports that we don't know about?
I mean, I'm a very competitive guy always, so I always feel like kind of athlete that I could play basketball, but I'm not great. Like in all the sports I like to play because I'm a very active guy. I never can be like just chilling some of the time. So I love to play in basketball, to compete. Even tennis, for example, I never practice it, and I can just run for the ball and kick some and have fun with some of the guys. So yeah, I play football already before. So
everything you do, you're trying to win.
I'm trying to do it.
Right.
Try to do it okay. You know,
This has got to be good for the confidence and the ego. This mural that you have at Venice Beach. How do you feel when you see stuff like this?
That was incredible, man. I love it. You know, when people make time for doing things like this, and when you are involved, it's incredible, man. It's just, I feel very blessed because a lot of people follow me. A lot of people are like looking after me and try to wish me the best.
Now it's obviously an honor. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But what's it like when you're there taking pictures? Are people stopping? Are they wanting to take a picture with you?
They were very respectful, and of course I took a lot of pictures with a lot of the people that they were there and they were watching. And then when I arrived and I went down, first of all we did like a session of pictures for myself with my family, and then of course the fans came and then they took me to the small pitches when they play a little bit small games, and I was a lot with a lot of kids, a lot of people over there taking pictures, speaking with them as well. They explained me how everything it's like increasing. They try to do it like the soccer base, like playing in streets, get like very strong here in America.
Right, yeah.
Javi, what's it like? Because your grandfather played, your father played. They were both very successful in Mexico, but to have that type of fame, neither had the fame globally that you have. Does it ever surprise you? Do you ever like pinch me type of moment? I can't believe this is my life.
I mean, these things. I was joking before with the sound guy that I never use one of these ones, for example, because I always wear these. There are things like I try to never let the surprises gone. You know, I always try to be, because I'm a human, man. I mean, our sport have a lot of stuff extra that, like, I don't know, singers, actors, models. I don't know. They bring with a lot of fame, a lot of money, a lot of stuff that most of the people want to try to live. So, but I'm a human, man. I have skin. I mean, money doesn't define me. Even the goals doesn't define me. The money doesn't define me. I mean, we are humans. The things inside, it sounds very cheesy, but the things inside is what define us. So, I mean, I always felt like fame, money and a lot of stuff. They are like tools in this world that they ask for it. You need money to eat, man, to survive. So it's part of this world.
Well, a guy that's known to be a good guy on the inside and out. Not only you, Chicharito, when you met LeBron James.
Wow.
I mean, what an experience I'd imagine for you, just being a fan of sports.
Exactly, and you know what I did? A lot of people always told me, like, what did he say to you? What did he say to you? And really, I say things to him because he was taking the time to come to me, and I just express what I feel, because I've been always a very true fan and true admirer of him since he started in the draft in Cavaliers and everything. And as well, I admire him so much because he can be very involved with a lot of youth people, helping a lot to give a lot of opportunities, not only in basketball, you know, even movie things that he's doing, even the shop, his project in HBO. Yeah. I don't know if I can mention that, but I mean,
no, I
follow him. I follow him so much because he's big and he's an inspiration for all of us that we can achieve a lot of things, but not only like we were speaking about before. So I just told him that I appreciate that he come to me and say hi. It was a pleasure, and as well, and I really tell him that it was a dream come true to meet him because really being there, shake his hand, he has that moment. I'm a very Laker fan always, and then being courtside watching him, he dropped 40 points in that game.
Damn.
So yeah, it's like we were speaking. Yeah, it's like things when I arrived home, it was like, wow, it's.
But did he compliment? Did he compliment the shirt though?
Yeah, because that's a great
Well,
shirt.
he didn't say nothing, but I'm gonna be very honest. A lot of people in the stage when I was walking, they was telling me like, apart some of them recognized me, and some of them they didn't. Just tell me, great shirt, man. I love it. I like it. So yeah, I mean, why not? It's like I said, it's just I'm having fun with it. You can even see the sweater, and I was like, it's part of it. I'm just having fun.
Now, an emotional moment out here in Los Angeles. The first game back at the Staples Center after the Kobe Bryant tragedy. There you were. Talk about the emotions that night.
Oh, and look, when we arrived, Sarah and I, to the game, and they told us like, look, you're gonna be sitting next to this like small memorial for Kobe. We were like, wow. Like again, it's another thing. Like said, wow, how lucky we are. And yeah, the atmosphere over there.
Did you feel pressure?
No pressure at all. No, obviously no. You know that the reality is like those, like a lot of people are gonna take a lot of pictures, a lot of video to those two seats, and a lot of people are going to watch. A lot of people, even the fans, go in there and take like selfies and stuff. I knew about that, but I didn't feel pressure. I was just there to watch the game, and then the whole memorial and the atmosphere, you could feel it like, yeah, very special. You know, it wasn't normal. So yeah, I feel very, very blessed. I'm very glad that I lived that experience.
Well, obviously the big question is Zlatan leaves. He was a huge superstar here. He scored 52 goals in 2 seasons. He leaves. Where are the goals going to come from? They go out and get you. What sense of pressure and responsibility do you feel to fill that void?
Well, not really, because he didn't win a championship. If we won a championship, that's going to change everything. And I mean, I've never been like in Mexico in my whole career. I would love to change those 52 goals and probably go to the 5th game that we always speak in Mexico, go to a semi-final, or even a final, win a World Cup. You know what I mean? So always the goals, of course, that's my position. That's one of the best things that we can help our teams. You were a striker too, so of course, but that's only a way to help the team, no? And I've always been so in love of football because that's not the only way to do. That's the only way to play football. If not, we all the football players were strikers, no defenders, no midfielders, no goalkeepers. So we need to be very respectful to all the positions. But just what I said, of course, Zlatan is being a very special player in all around the world, not only here in Galaxy. You see right now in AC Milan, he went there and he started scoring goals. AC Milan started playing better. He's a very special guy. But I mean, one of the things that I spoke with Dennis, with Guillermo, was like, they saw in me a part of the scoring goals that I will be the best fit for the team to get the most valuable and most important thing for us, that is win a championship.
Now, were you surprised to see the support in Los Angeles? MLS is growing.
It's growing a lot. It's growing a lot, and I'm so excited and so happy that I've been feeling and that I arrived in this moment too. It's like we are in that big transition, but I think we are closer to get like in this country and because you know in Latin America, in our countries, football is the only thing, but I think soccer is growing a lot. I said it in the other interview that it's growing so much. A lot of people doesn't want to see that, but hopefully with me, with a lot of players that they, for example, Pizarro as well, coming to Miami in his age and saying that it's easy to go to play here in MLS and to go to Europe rather than me to Mexico. That's a very strong message of how important.
Do you agree with that?
Completely.
It's easier to go from MLS to Europe than Liga MX to Europe.
Completely.
Why?
I mean, I only can speak about my experience and how I left. I think I was so lucky as well that they were Jorge, that he's resting in peace. He was building the stadium in that moment. Then the club that they wanted me, that was Manchester United at the time. The World Cup was close. You need to be more lucky to be Mexican and play in Mexico to go to Europe rather than, for example, an Argentina player, a Paraguay player, Chile, Brazilian players, you know.
it brings me to my next question, what you just brought up. In Mexico right now, you know this very much, in Liga MX, there are a lot of foreign players. And those foreign players sometimes stifle the growth of the domestic players, so there's no Mexican players coming up through the ranks. We're seeing that now in Major League Soccer, where there's a lot of foreign influx of players coming in. Do you think the U.S. men's national team and the striker position especially is going to be affected by that?
Oof, that's a very good question, because I always, for example, when I always spoke about that foreign, I always been a foreign since I left Mexico. And I've been a foreign in Premier League, in La Liga in Spain, in Germany, and then come back to the Premier League, and then again to the La Liga. I always been a foreign, and I always try to do my best, and I could feel that too. But the problem, I think, in Mexico is not the foreign people, it's how they manage that, how the opportunities could come. I really feel here in MLS, that's why a lot of people question or believe that this growth could be quicker, but the American people believe that this is the way, even if it's a little bit slower than people want, because they can give this, I'm going to mention in this way, that like middle class of USA players to learn a lot and to support this league, because that's what they want. They don't want foreign people to support the league, so they try to bring a lot of youth people to develop here and to have chances, and as well a lot of these DP players or experienced players.
They don't want the foreign players to be the strength, they want the domestic players.
They want the domestic players to do it. You can feel it, and I can feel it over there, because it will be easier. They will be even cheaper to bring Mexican players or another Latin American players that they don't ask for a lot of wages. They don't have very, very expensive transfer as well, and they can bring it. But you can see that they want to, like I call it a sandwich, like they want to have the completely base of it that they will be only American, and that's why I think they even sacrifice the World Cup that they didn't win, because they know the long view, about the long race that is that. So I think they're in a very good shape, and that's something that is the opposite of us already now. And I feel in La Liga, also as in Mexico, in the Mexican League, the base is foreign. And then you have the stars, Mexican stars, or Mexican foreigners, but the base is foreign. They're not Mexican.
We're going to play a little 405. Now, there's 5 questions. You have to answer 4. You can skip on 1, or you can answer all 5.
I think I'm going to answer the 5.
All right, let's do it.
I've never been afraid to. I can take any?
Yeah, there it is. All right. Can you sing the Little P song?
The answer is no. So I answer it.
What is the Little P song?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like,
sure
can you sing the Little P song? That's my answer. No, I can't. So.
Well, I'm from the Manchester United days. Remember, Little P, Little P, Little P, Little P. All right, so maybe not. Maybe you can't sing it.
I can't sing it.
All right, that's the first one. Go ahead. Most memorable goal
this
scored.
Is very complicated, man. It's.
Oh, you got over 200, so take your pick.
I know because of that, because I've been so blessed that I have very successful career, that a lot of goals mean a lot of stuff, No, I need to say definitely. I need to say 2 definitely. One is my debut goal.
Yeah.
My first goal that was in my
Chivas.
debut with Chivas, exactly against Necaxa. We won 4-0. And the next one, it's against France in the 2010 World Cup, that we beat them 2-0 and I scored the first one. So I will say those 2, because it's like the beginning. And then even though that I already signed for Manchester United, scoring a World Cup against the same country that my grandfather.
That's right.
It's so special. It needs to be those 2.
Do you remember your first one as a little kid ever?
No. but I remember a few. Even that I lived in a city that is called Morelia. Over there, I was a kid and started playing over there. I remember some of the goals.
Wow. All right, let's go. Third one. Favorite Mexican spot in LA?
Ooh.
I'll skip this one.
Skip. Oh no! Is it a place?
I haven't been in a lot of Mexican places. I've been here for 4. No, that's not an excuse. You got it.
That's not an excuse.
You got it.
I get it. Oh, okay. Your last unfollow on social media. Did someone...
Did you stop following
Get under your skin? Yeah. Did you unfollow anybody recently? Or maybe block somebody? Do you let that get to you, or do you just not like somebody?
I blocked some. I didn't.
Is there somebody you noticed unfollowed you that you were following?
No, I didn't. No. Last one that I unfollowed, not recently. I'm trying to remember what was my last unfollow, but it was like...
Crazy, maybe some crazy exes?
Uh-oh.
No, not even
Sarah's
that.
watching
No.
this.
I'm trying to think, but no. I can't remember that.
The last one, the worst advice you received, Chicharito. Worst advice you ever received? That's a tough one.
Have a backup plan and study.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Why is that the worst advice?
Because he was the only one worse. Because the rest, even though that probably could be the worst, they were right. Because the advices is, when people give you advices, it's depending of their life. So that doesn't mean that if you don't go in that experience, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's like...
Right, you had nothing to fall back on,
Exactly.
so soccer was everything. Yeah,
and I think I did a very... big jump to go all in, you know? So that's why it was my worst advice. It was like, go and study, because even though that is not, for example, that's what I mean. If there are some people over there trying to be both and they want to go in both and probably successful in both, go on. But for me, it was like, go all in or
all
not.
in.
All in or
you got
get
it.
out, you
I
know?
love it.
All right, Javi, talking about going all in, Major League Soccer, your home debut against the Vancouver Whitecaps. What are you thinking? What are you expecting? What's your mindset going into
A win for LA Galaxy. A win. That's what we expect. We won the 3 points. We were winning against Houston last weekend, and they draw because they're a very strong team. And you play there in Houston with the weather, with the crowd. It's a very tough away game. But another thing, in all the MLS, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough that we're speaking about too. The MLS is growing. It's very competitive. You saw already teams fighting and getting another next stage with Conca Champions. So man, it's growing. It's more. When people doesn't want to see it, it's because probably when they admit some of the things that they are not in you, you are like admitting that you are not growing that much. So I think that a lot of people doesn't want to do it. So yeah, we want to win against Vancouver. We want to give our people the first game that we're playing in the 25th anniversary of this MLS, a win, definitely.
All right, well, we have that
pleasure,
game on
man.
ESPN+.
Thank you very much.
Guys, Chicharito here on Now or Never.
Now, coming up,
Thank you
who
very
won
much.
the internet? We get to that next.
All right.
Hang tight.
Thank you so much. Man. Excited about it.
Chicharito.